I mean, yeah, you answered it. She was just, I mean, she's just a very smart basketball player, so she'll get out and deny passing lanes. I'm gonna make catches difficult.
Paige Bueckers had an awkward post-game moment with a reporter after Caitlin Clark made WNBA history, and the silence spoke louder than words. Moments after Clark put on a dazzling, record-breaking performance, becoming the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 200 points and 100 assists, all eyes turned to Bueckers, her fellow rookie and longtime counterpart from the college ranks. A reporter asked a simple question about Clark's 5 steals, expecting maybe a compliment or reflection on facing such a high-profile opponent. But Paige's response? Just one word. Cool.
Yo, that is the first Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers matchup, and both of them played well. The Fever absolutely pummeled the Dallas Wings, and it was the expected result. Both of them played well.
On the other side of the court, Paige Bueckers had a solid showing of her own. The former UConn star, playing under a hardship contract for the Dallas Wings, dropped 21 points and showed flashes of the elite scorer fans have followed since her high school days. She moved with confidence, hit tough shots, and proved she could hold her own at the pro level. But despite her personal performance, the Wings were overwhelmed. The Fever controlled the tempo, the energy, and, most importantly, the scoreboard. And while Clark's brilliance stole headlines, it was what happened after the game that stole the conversation.
Slowed down a little bit. She had one moment where it looks like, she had a clash with Paige Bueckers to the rim, and she came down kind of funky, so it might have been slowed up a little bit, but she was still playing hard, having with those signature passes, but she was getting roughed up early, but she started to get calls.
Now here's where things really got interesting. After the game, with cameras rolling and microphones out, the media naturally turned their attention to Paige Bueckers. Everyone wanted her thoughts on sharing the court with Caitlin Clark for the first time in the WNBA. 2 college legends finally colliding under the league's brightest lights.
The Indiana Fever just dominated the Dallas Wings, or should I say Caitlin Clark just dominated Paige Bueckers. I'm talking about every single corner Paige Bueckers turned, Caitlin Clark was right there. Every single pass Paige Bueckers tried to make, Caitlin Clark was right there. There was nothing. This had to be Paige Bueckers.
Because this wasn't just about basketball stats, it was about presence, pride, and positioning. Paige Bueckers has spent years hearing her name linked with Caitlin Clark. In high school, they were seen as equals. In college, their paths diverged, but the comparisons never stopped. And now, in the pros, Caitlin has surged ahead, dominating headlines, breaking records, becoming the face of a league seemingly built around her. Meanwhile, Paige is still fighting for minutes, fighting for respect, and now, maybe, fighting for her place in the spotlight. It was a signal that she's not here to ride anyone's coattails, not to applaud her rival, not to be second best. Whether it was frustration or motivation, or both, Paige made it clear in that single word. She's not just watching Clark's rise, she's preparing to challenge it. So when Paige Bueckers was asked about Caitlin Clark's performance, and she responded with just cool, that wasn't a throwaway line. It was a calculated pause. A moment that spoke volumes without needing a full sentence. Because behind that single word is years of comparison, pressure, and spotlight that's always felt just slightly out of reach. Paige was once the it girl, gracing magazine covers, lighting up UConn, and being called the future of the game. Then injuries hit. Time passed. And while she was battling rehab and fighting to get back on the court,
Timpson's going to be here longer, but also we need a second player to fill in for when Tosh has to take breathers because she is an older vet. And so Timpson, I'll get into how she evolves, but I think that that's going to be her role going forward. Good rim defense, good rebounding effort, tipping balls, good effort from her. She got 9 shots on the night, so the team is obviously confident in her taking shots and giving her opportunities. Now, she didn't complete a lot of them. She was 3 for 9 on the night, but she did get to the rim. And I think one of those key unlocks for her is going to be creating different ranges of which she scores at.
And that contrast between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, it's more than just stats or screen time. It's a story of 2 careers that started in the same spotlight, but now live in completely different worlds. Caitlin didn't just enter the WNBA, She took over the conversation. From day one, she had the cameras, the corporate sponsors, the sold-out arenas chanting her name. She's the one on billboards, the one breaking streaming records, the one with presidential-level security at games. Her arrival wasn't just welcomed, it was celebrated. She was given the keys to the league before she even proved anything professionally. Meanwhile, Paige? She was once on that same pedestal. In high school, she was the chosen one. In college, she was a national star, but injuries stalled her rise. Time moved on. The spotlight shifted, and suddenly the girl who was once the future of women's basketball was forced into survival mode. Instead of red carpets, she's now walking into games under a hardship contract, the kind that doesn't guarantee you'll be here next month. She's not being interviewed on every platform. She's not the centerpiece of marketing campaigns. She's fighting for minutes, fighting for rhythm, fighting to be seen again in a league that already crowned someone else.
The offense looks better. And the key point, though, is the defense looks miles better than last year because of Stephanie White and Breon January. And this is a championship level performance. The key is they just need to stay healthy, stay consistent, and continue to build and stay hungry towards the playoffs. This team, at this point before the All-Star break, looking this dynamic with a defense that is much improved from last year and an offense that is more weapons and is much improved from last year. Like, this is a way better team.
So when the post-game microphone was shoved in her face, not to ask about her 21-point night, but about Caitlin Clark's 5 steals, it hit differently. It didn't feel like a question, it felt like a reminder of how far the spotlight had shifted, and of how many people stopped asking her questions that mattered. That one-word answer, cool, was more than just cold. It was layered with frustration, maybe a little resentment. But most of all, it was a protective shield, a subtle way of saying, I'm not here to boost someone else's legend while mine is still being written. That moment wasn't about disrespect. It was about identity, about drawing a line, about reclaiming some of the space that once belonged to her. So when a reporter asks her to react to yet another Caitlin Clark stat, it doesn't feel like a question anymore. It feels like a challenge, like a reminder of the spotlight she used to have, and the one Clark now owns. That's why cool wasn't cold for the sake of it. It was about pride, about boundaries, about refusing to play a supporting role in someone else's rise. It was Paige drawing a line in the sand, quietly but firmly, saying, I'm not here to clap for Caitlin. I'm here to compete with her.
And let me know what you guys think. I think it's good when the Fever are firing on all cylinders, because I think when the Fever are firing on all cylinders, they're like, good things are going to happen. Like, good things are going to happen when this Indiana Fever team, like, is firing on all cylinders. And when they're firing on all cylinders, everybody eats. Caitlin gets to make her passes. Sophie gets to average more points. Kelsey gets to average more points. Howard gets to average more points. And I think every single Caitlin Clark fan will be happy out if Caitlin Clark averages 15 points per game on 12 shots. And she averages 12, 13 assists per game. And then they run up.
Because that moment, that single word, cool, might just be the spark. Not a feud, but a fire. A competitive flame between two generational talents who know exactly what's at stake. Caitlin Clark may be leading the headlines now, but Paige Bueckers isn't fading into the background. She's watching, she's studying, and most importantly, she's waiting for her moment, for her comeback, for the next time their paths cross. And when it does, it won't just be about basketball. It'll be about identity, legacy, proving to the world and to each other who truly belongs at the top. This isn't just a game anymore. This is the beginning of something bigger, a rivalry built not on trash talk, but on silence, on tension, and on the unshakable belief that only one of them can own this era. Because in a league where every game is under a microscope and every player is fighting for legacy, moments like this matter. That single word from Paige, so brief yet so loaded, reminded us that the WNBA isn't just about points and stats. It's about pride, pressure, and power. Caitlin Clark may be rewriting the record books, but Paige Bueckers just reminded the world that she's not here to applaud. She's here to compete. And that tension, that fire, it's exactly what women's basketball needs. Because fans don't just want highlights. They want heart. They want edge. And now, they've got a rivalry that could define the next decade. So buckle up, because this story is just getting started.